Hello everyone and welcome. In this lesson we'll be covering how to create and generate a new Angular project using Angular Material custom themes. We will go through the process of setting up Angular Material themes, customizing the color layouts for the Angular Material themes, and wiring it together in the angular.json file. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we want to generate a new Angular application. So we're going to say ng new in and out books. And then we're just going to do part 1. We'll say yes for routing. And then we're going to select SCSS for our styling framework. Okay, once it's finished installing, we'll go ahead and add Angular material. So we're going to say ng add at angular/material. And before we do that, you just want to make sure that you're in the correct working directory. So let's go ahead and cd over to that directory first. So we'll say cd in and out. Now we'll go ng add at angular/material. For the purpose of this exercise, we're going to be using a custom built theme. So we're going to want to select that one. So down at the bottom where you have your options, you want to navigate to the custom and then just press enter. And then it's going to ask you, do you want to set global Angular material typography? And we're going to say yes. And then we also want to add browser animation, so we're going to say yes. Okay, once it's done, we'll go ahead and add our Flex layout. So we're going to say npm install, and then we just want to say add angular/flex layout. So once Flex Layout has been installed, what we want to do first is go ahead and open up the in and out books directory. And then what we're looking for is we're looking for the angular.json file. We're going to need to make modification to this file, and then we're also going to want to change the name of our theming package that we've used. So we're expand our source directory as well. And what we're looking for is underneath the styles.css, SCSS, we're actually going to want to change this to theme. So we're going to right click this. We're going to say rename. And then we're just going to change it to underscore theme.scss. We're also going to want to add another file, and that file is going to be for our base styles, so styles.css, SCSS. So we'll go ahead and add that one as well. So now in that angular.json file, we just want to wire those two files up. So under the styles array, we want to add an entry for our styles.scss, and then we also want to add an entry for our underscore theme.scss. So above the source/styles.scss, we're going to add an entry for our theme. So we're going to say source, and then this one is just going to be for underscore theme.scss. So again, you should have two entries inside your styles array, one for underscore theme.scss, and that's going to be for our custom Angular theme, and then you're going to have styles.scss. All I did was I renamed the default SCSS file that came with the project to underscore themes.scss. And the reason why I did that is because it had already wired up the custom theme for our material application. So what we want to do from here is we want to open up the index.html file. And we actually want to set the body class, the matte typography, and then we also want to say the matte app background. So we're going to add another entry for matte-app-background. You just want to verify to make sure that the fonts have been included inside the index.html file, as well as the material icons have been included inside the file. It looks like both of them have. So we can go ahead and close that out. We want to open up our underscore theme.scss file. So I'm just going to close everything else out. And inside here is where we're actually going to be applying our custom theme. So if you notice, when you generate a custom theme, the CLI is pretty good about creating this file for you and leaving some comments to explain kind of what you need to modify to get your custom Angular theme working. So in this case, what we're looking for is we're looking for this section here where it says define the palettes for your theme using the material design palettes available in the palette.json .scss file. What we want to do is we actually want to change this so that this fits our custom theme that we're going to be using for this application. So at the top here on line 15, I'm just going to take this name. We are going to rename this because we're going to be using a dark theme. So we're going to say dark primary. And we actually want to change this, instead of matte indigo, we're going to change this to matte blue. Under accent, we're going to say $dark accent, and then we want to use the matte palette. And then we're going to say matte green, but then we want to give it a 400, and that's just going to be the darkness or the transparency of that color that we're going to be using. So we can go ahead and delete the one on line 17, the code that we're not going to use. Once you're done with that, we want to set the worn. And so in this case, we're going to change this to dark, worn. And this is going to be our third color that we're using for our theme. And this one, we're just going to say matte red, but we're going to give it a 400. So as you can see, we have a primary color, we have an accent color, and we have our worn color. Now below this, you're going to notice that it says create the theme object that you're going to be using for your custom theme. So what we're going to do is we want to use a dark theme. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this. And what we're going to say is we're going to say $dark theme. And inside this dark theme is where we're going to apply the dark theme that we just created. So we're going to say matte dark theme. We're going to give it a $. So this is going to be the first color. We're going to say dark primary. Our second color is going to be the accent color, so we're going to say dark accent. And then our third color is going to be the worn color, so we're going to say dark and then worn. With that in place, all we need to do now is we just need to globally wire that theme together. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove that line that we just had, so that was include Angular theme, and then it passed in this pre-generated name here, this in and out books theme. We're going to go ahead and remove all that. And we're going to say include Angular material theme, but this time we're just go ahead and say dark theme. Now, if you notice below, it went ahead and put this body, and they put the HTML in the body. It has pre-styling for it. We're going to go ahead and cut that, so we're going to say Control X, and we want to move that over to our styles file. So let's go ahead and find that one, and we're just going to paste that in there. So we'll go back over to our theme, and just to recap, what we've done here is we've defined a primary theme color, we've defined an accent theme color, we've defined our worn theme color, and then we also have our dark theme, which is the global name of our entire theme we've used. It has a primary color, has an accent color, and it has a worn color. Once we've done that correctly, then we just need to wire up that theme, telling Angular CLI that we're going to use the Angular material theme, and we're just going to pass in this dark theme that we created, which is, again, on line 23 of our code. Once we've done that, then all we need to do is just import that over from our styles.scss file. So I'm going to go ahead and open that back up. At the top of our file, we want to add an import statement. And to add an import statement, we say @import. And then next, all we do is we just say a single quotes, then we go // and then theme. Now you'll notice all I said was theme. So this, when you see an underscore, when you see anything that says an underscore for a file, it basically means it's a partial file. And so with SCSS or SAS, we're able to import that by just referencing the name. So if I didn't use the // then I need to include the actual name of the file. But if I'm using the underscore prefix, then SCSS knows that this is going to be a partial style, so it allows us to import it if we just reference just the name. So anything past the underscore value. With that done, we can go ahead and finish writing up our style file. So we'll just make this look a little bit more organized. So we'll say HTML body, and that's going to be a height of 100%. The body will have a margin 0, font family of Roboto. And then after that, we're going to say blue. So this is going to be our blue class. And we're just going to say color. And then we're going to give this a value of 2 2.196F3. Oh. 2.196F3. Next, we're going to create a green. And so this one is going to be color. And then we're going to use 66BB6A. Okay, after that, then what we want to do is we want to create a class, and that class is going to be called attribution link. So we're going to say dot attribution and then dash link. This is going to have a text decoration of none. And then we're going to say color white. Then we want to do the hover state for it. So attribution link :hover. And then we're going to say text decoration underline. Next, we're going to say card title icon. And then we're going to say text align center. And then we're going to have another class called card title icon. And then we'll have a comma and then matte icon. And then this is going to be font size 72. And then we're going to have one called align center. And this is going to be text align and then center. Okay, so we've defined our default blue. That's going to be our main blue for our application. And we defined our default green as classes so that we can reuse them throughout the application. We've also added class for attribution link. And then we have a hover state, which we're just giving it an underline under the actual value that we create, or the href that we have. Then we have a card title icon that we're saying align at center. And then we're saying, okay, now if you're using that class, if there's this class called matte icon, let's go ahead and change the font size to 72 pixels. And then the last one is align center. And that's just so that we can align the text center within the body of a container. And we're just doing that so that we can reuse that throughout the entire application. With those in place, let's go ahead and save this. And then let's go ahead and try to run the application just to make sure that we don't have any errors and that everything looks like it's wired correctly. So I'm going to say new terminal. We'll just need to navigate to the in and outs books directory that we created. So in and out books, and then we're just going to say ngserve. Okay, once it's finished compiling, what we're looking for is to make sure there's no errors down in the terminal window. So then the next thing we want to do is just open up a browser and navigate to the application just to make sure that the application still renders correctly. And all we need to do is just navigate to localhost 4200. If you notice the background is dark, that's because we applied that custom dark theme to our project, so we know that the theme is working correctly. To recap, in this lesson we covered Angular Material Design, how to create a custom Angular Material theme in a new project. In our next lesson, we'll be covering navigation and layouts using Angular Material Design patterns. Thank you for watching.